Hello there guys, it's Drowsy Dragon here. So, recently on the 11.2.7 PTR, housing was testable. So naturally I jumped on there to have a little look at how the system was progressing so far, get a feel for the neighbourhoods and figure out where I would like my characters to live. And part of this testing involved getting some of the various decor items. So there's a lot of things that you can put in your house, lots of items that mostly make sense, but there are some rather suspicious items on this list. Items that, if you were to see them in a friend or guildmate's house, it might cause you to ask some uncomfortable questions. So let's take a look at some of the most sus items in player housing so far. So picture this, you're round at your friend's house having a delightful meal together, and all of a sudden they pull out the forbidden fork. That's right, you heard this correctly. It's named in the files the forbidden fork. Why is it forbidden? What has the fork done? What has it been used for? Well, that's left to your imagination. Now, it's highly likely that this is just simply a fork from the Forbidden Reach in Dragonflight. But isn't it more exciting to imagine that this fork has been used for no good? I'll leave that one to your imagination. Another suspicious item on the housing decor list is the Brennadam grinder. Why does anybody need this? Now you might be thinking that this is fine, there's nothing suspicious about this whatsoever. It's a small little meat grinder, you know, you want to dice up a cow, make some burgers, whatever you fancy doing. However, remember that with housing items you can scale them up. Now if you scale this thing up enough, you could fit a whole damn Tauren in there. I'd be very suspicious of anybody that has a large Brennadam grinder in their house, especially if it's in a dark room. Definitely don't consume any food or drink from this person's premises. And if any gnomes in the neighbourhood start going missing, you know exactly where they are. That's right, they're in your burgers. Now, you know with our new Earthen allies that were basically 3D printed, and if you've done that questline, you know how Earthen come to be into this world. Now, you can get a Awakening Machine stasis pod for your house. But why? What are your intentions with this Earthen when it's born? What are you going to tell it? Who's its daddy? You know? What sort of things are you going to put in its mind? Are you going to use it to clean your house? Will it be some sort of garden slave? Will it be used as a romantic companion? What are you even doing? Why? Okay, so you know how it would be perfectly normal to have items in your house that relate to perhaps what class your main is or what culture you are part of, be it Night Elven or Zandalari or Kultiran. That would make perfect sense, right? To make it quite thematic and fitting to your character. But some people are going to take this a bit too far. Now, you can also get an Amani ritual sarcophagus for your house. Again, why? Who's in there? Is anybody in there? Is this where you sleep? Are you some sort of vampiric Amani troll? Is it interactable? Does it open up? Can you put gnomes in there? How many gnomes can you fit in there? There's far too many questions and it's far too sus. And I know that somebody out there is going to have an entire room just full of these things. Beware. So anybody familiar with the lore of World of Warcraft knows that we've had our fair share of old god problems in the past. And Kultirans and their Tidesages were wrapped up in some pretty dodgy tentacly things. Maybe they just like that kind of thing, you know? But you might find that one of your friends is also wrapped up in this tentacle nastiness. And if they have this fireplace, the Tidesage's fireplace, in their home, be suspicious and call them out on it. Look at the description for this thing. Designed for indoor placement, its huge size makes it ideal as a focal point or statement piece. But what statement are you making by having this in your house scaled up to max? Keep those tentacles well away from me, except on Tuesdays because it's Tentacle Tuesdays, you know? That's what we do on Tuesdays. Anyway, now each player house is in a neighbourhood, and a neighbourhood means there's a community, and a community means there's people, and people cause problems. Now, you might have your neighbour's dog pooping on your lawn, you might have someone next door that makes a terrible looking house that you have to stare at every time you go out your front door. There's going to be issues because people bring problems, that's just what people do. And if these problems get out of hand, there's only one way to solve this, with the Gilnean problem solver. Gnome comes over, starts talking about his new skirt, lop his head off. Neighbour comes around, starts asking to borrow some sugar, lop his head off. Malfurion comes around, screaming about Tyrande. I mean, you get the idea. Yes, you're going to need lots of buckets for this as well. And ideally combine this with a Brennadam meat grinder. It's going to get quite messy, but at least you can make some burgers out of the situation. And then you could use the forbidden fork to eat the burgers. The forbidden burgers. It just makes sense. Okay, so there's lots of lovely elven items that you can get for your house. Blood elves obviously are on there as well as night elves, but there are some Suramar items from the Nightborn that you can get in your humble abode. One of those things is the Suramar containment cell. Once again, why? What are you putting in this thing? This is not a dog kennel for your pet. Who's in there? And once again, is it a gnome? Because I think that's the only race that's probably deserving of being put in this thing, but what are your plans with this thing? Like, is this where you capture your neighbour Nigel when he puts that terrible music on again, or is this where you hold the people that you're about to put in the grinder that you're going to consume with the forbidden fork? Look at how the description makes it sound totally normal as well. This versatile piece can be placed in both the interior and exterior of your home. Its large size makes it ideal as a focal point or statement piece. Oh, brilliant. Yeah, just let's order like 10 of these and then we can just put them all outside and show off how good we are at storing our slaves. What's going on? So, other than these things, housing is lovely. It's very nice. But just beware, if you've got buddies that have these things in their homes, question it. Ask them, grill them. What are you doing, man? What are you playing at? This is like a nice thing. This is a house. Neighbourhood. Don't be chopping people up in your basement. We can't even make basements, but somebody will. You know, someone will figure out a way. So there we go, guys. There's quite a few sus items on the suspicious list that are coming in player housing. What are you going to do? What are your plans? Now, someone will watch this video and get some really weird ideas. And despite the tone of this video, I'm all here for it, by the way. So knock yourselves out, do as weird as you possibly can, and show us the results when player housing does come out. Just to let you know, we have actually started up a guild in the game on the EU servers. The Drowsy Dragons Guild is on the Ravencrest server, but as long as you're on the EU servers, you can join us regardless of what realm you're on, whether you're Horde or Alliance. So if you'd like to join, leave us a comment down below, or join us on Discord and ask for an invite in the Hearthfire chat channel. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Bit of a weird video, but there we go. What's wrong with being a bit weird, eh? So, if you have enjoyed this video, do consider leaving it a like and subscribing to the Drowsy Dragon for more videos, maybe like this, and perhaps some more normal content if the timeline calls for it. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I've been the Drowsy Dragon, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers!